Hello and welcome to Oji-san Plays. I'm your host Oji-san, and today we're going to play some Resident Evil 5 Mercenaries. My personal favorite entry in Mercenaries. Resident Evil 5 has the best mercenaries in the series, in my opinion. And we're going to start off simple. I'm going to play as every character and every stage and just give you my thoughts on this and that. I also like to think about this as if I was explaining it to not necessarily someone who hasn't played the game before, because if you haven't played the game before, you should probably start with story mode. Though I don't think Resident Evil 5 gives you access to mercenaries until you've beaten the story mode, whereas Resident Evil 6 gives you access to it right off the bat. And thank goodness too, because RE6 story mode is not so good. But we'll talk about that when we get there. I suppose the first thing I would tell somebody is the biggest difference between Resident Evil 5's Mercenaries and Resident Evil 4's is that you can get time in this one. Extra time by performing melee attacks, depending on where you shoot their bodies, same as RE4. Though they added shooting them in the arms in this one. That's the primary setup for melee attacks with your partner, which we will not be seeing today, because I'm going to be doing this all by myself. I've spent most of my time playing this by myself, so I got used to doing it that way. It's actually a little bit easier. The difficulty is toned down. I shouldn't say easier. The enemies are a little less aggressive when you play by yourself to compensate. They still grab you a lot, which is very annoying. I think that's probably my least favorite thing about playing by yourself. You don't have someone to knock them off of you when they grab you. And this is the era of quick times too, so you really gotta rotate that analog stick to get them off. Shoot them in the arms to set them up for your partner. Shoot them in the head. Depending on the character, certain melee attacks are stronger. Chris has a decent head melee attack. His punch is pretty good. Not quite as powerful as Wesker's, but it's more powerful than Sheva's. Sheva's is more for knocking him down. Chris can frequently KO with his punch. His headshot punch. I also don't really care for this shotgun. Chris is a good starter character just to get you used to the game. But he's quickly outclassed by the others. Though I've seen people work some magic with him. I've seen some people that are really good with BSAA Chris. Personally, I'm not that great with him. I think this shotgun is actually a little bit better than the second shotgun that you get, which is really a shame because that was my favorite shotgun in Resident Evil 4. I think they nerfed it a little bit in this one. They nerfed it a bit too hard. Did I already get the one in here? I don't think so. No. Also, I'm not rounding up the time bonuses very efficiently, but on this stage, you want to grab all the time bonuses before you start killing the enemies. It's pretty easy to do on this stage. Some of the later stages, I think you have to go bit by bit. And that's another thing that I don't... I think, maybe not bad game design, but I like that they changed the spawn points in Resident Evil 6. Each level is just one big spawn point. In this one, you have to stand in specific areas to get all the enemies to spawn, which can get really annoying on the bigger stages, like the ship deck. I think the ship deck is one of the hardest to get all the enemies. Most people seem to gravitate, when you play online, there's a big boy. Most people seem to gravitate towards Public Assembly and the prison. I think because of the spawn points. Also, don't be afraid to use invincibility frames to dodge attacks and grabs. Let's see if I can show you here. Pick stuff up right as enemies attack you. You can really abuse the iframes in this one. They changed that for 6. You can also do grenade reloads like you could in RE4. Like that. Once you really get your rhythm down, it's just neck breaker after neck breaker. Or whatever it is for each character. Jill's is really good because she knocks other enemies down. This attack here for Jill, the leg from behind melee attack. She also has the double knee drop, which is really good. But you gotta prove your skills with regular Chris, BSAA Chris, and BSAA Sheva first. Oh, I forgot to mention, the reason why this is in 720p is because I'm playing this on a Steam Deck. It's actually pretty impressive that this thing can run OBS and the game. This game runs really well. I've been able to run most of the Resident Evil games that I've tried. Well, I should say. Resident Evil 4 ran, but not very well. I thought I was having performance issues, like, really bad at first. Till I realized that... Oh boy. Till I realized that it was just... That's just kind of the way the game is. Resident Evil 4 has... The controls for that are divisive. Some people will tell you to just get good, but I personally think they're kind of sluggish. Still a fun game. But after playing that for a while and going back to this, I was like, yeah. I think this is my comfort zone. Those snakehead things are so annoying to kill when they fall on the ground. I don't know how they do that, but they'll bounce like 4 or 5 times when you shoot at them. Jeez, you know, maybe I take back what I said about BSAA Chris. He's kind of an animal. I think his biggest shortcoming is that he doesn't have super long range. Yeah, you like that? Multiple shots point blank to the executioner and no stun. Oh, and he can cancel. That's a good shot of it there. He can cancel out of his swing if he sees that you're trying to abuse the iframes like that. Eating eggs is slightly slower than using spray cans, so if you're in a pinch and you need to heal fast, use the spray can first. And for combo time, it actually doesn't do anything once you've got a combo larger than 50. So if you're going for perfect combos, you're really only going to grab, like, I'm sure if you time it well, you can get all 3 of them before you hit 50. I usually don't, though. I've never been able to, like, maximize my performance in this that well. I might play around with some mods at some point, but at first I'm just going to show the regular characters. I'm going to go through regular Mercenaries, because this is the PC version, so it doesn't have Mercenaries United. Mercenaries and Mercenaries Reunion are separate. I kind of prefer this version, though Mercenaries United... The best part about Mercenaries United is you can use the No Mercy characters, or you can use the Reunion characters with No Mercy mode, which is really fun for, like, is it Heavy Metal Chris, the one that has the minigun? He's really good for No Mercy. Any of the characters that use the Beretta have a decent crit rate. The Beretta by default, even on its lowest crit setting, has a good crit rate before you upgrade it in story even. Because it's the Resident Evil Beretta, the Stars Beretta. I think one of the things that I dislike the most about the newer games is the way they punish you for going for headshots. I like Resident Evil 2 Remake, but that one really... I think people say that they move the weak point to their legs. You need to shoot them in the leg instead of the head, which is a little silly. I'll probably do a playthrough of that at some point, because that runs really well on the Steam Deck. I don't think I've done a test for recording, though. There's just something about this one. I just love this. I love Resident Evil 5. I've ended up putting... I used to... I would have said that I like Resident Evil 4 better, and I still like the overall art style of the game. But I've put more time into this one over the years, just because of Mercenaries. Mercenaries in this game is so much fun. It's infinitely replayable, basically.
I don't believe it. You did that without any support?
Yeah, that was better than I was expecting. BSAA Chris is actually pretty good. Alright, well, that was a good first round. I'll see you back here for round number 2.